Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and Android 10 is now available for all Pixel devices. I've got it running on my Pixel 3 XL and 3a XL. So we'll take a look at all of the new features. There are a ton of little tweaks and changes, but we'll take a look at all of the major features. So this will be a fairly long video. Check the description for the time codes, and then all of the supported devices will be listed here. So if you want to know all of the currently supported devices, those are the supported ones, but your manufacturer still has to release that update, so it may take a while. If you're on a Samsung device, it may take even longer, but they said they're going to be a little bit faster this time. So let's take a look at the first thing. Now, if you're not seeing this update over the air, you can install it using a computer. I did that because it was a little bit quicker to get it on my devices, but this particular update came in about 1 to 2 gigabytes depending on how you install it. So let's take a look at the first thing that's different, and that is the boot up screen. So let me go ahead and boot up the 3a XL. Take just a moment here. We'll wait for it to boot. And it's actually pretty quick. The performance on this update is very good. So you'll see it says powered by Android. It's a little bit different. The G has the Google colors in it. And there we go. We're already at the lock screen. Now the lock screen is a little bit different. You'll see that the font is different. Let's go ahead and unlock it. The home screen is different as well. So we have the date as well as the temperature and the time in the upper left. So it just looks really clean. Now, one of the big things with this particular update is gestures, and you'll see here on the left I don't have the gestures enabled, and on the right I do. And you don't have to enable the gestures. In fact, I updated this and the gestures did not switch over to gesture mode. So if you don't like the gestures, you can stick with what you have. Now we'll go over the gestures in just a moment, but the first thing is they've moved the build number. So if we just swipe down from the top here with the notifications, you'll see there's a build number here, and it's going to vary a little bit depending on your device, but you'll see it says 10 and then QP1A.190.711.020. So that's the build. Let's go into the system settings here, and you'll see all of the settings are a little bit different. They're more colorful. You've got customize, add emergency information, and you have your account information now here in the search settings in the upper right. So you've got a lot of different little changes throughout. Now, if we scroll down, then go to system, under advanced, we can see system update, and you'll see this says version 10. Security patch level is September 5th, 2019. We're a couple days ahead as far as the security patch is concerned, but if you have a Pixel device and you update your device, you'll also have Android 10 and the latest security patch. Now, if we go into the Android version, there's a little Easter egg here, just like there always is. You'll see it says Android 10. We can move these around, and as we move around the 1 or the 0 or the word Android, you actually feel a lot of haptic feedback, so you can feel it vibrating the phone as you move these around. It's just a nice little Easter egg. Now, speaking of the gestures I talked about, if you swipe up from the bottom, you go home. Everything is nicely animated and really refined at this point. Now, if I want to go back, I can swipe back from the middle, swipe back again, swipe up to go home. It's very similar to iOS that way. If I want to swipe in from a corner, I can get Android Assistant. So swipe in from either corner, and you've got Android Assistant right there. So that's nice. And then if I go back to, say, the Android 10 Easter egg and swipe from the far left, we'll go back. Now, if I go into something else such as display, we'll swipe back, swipe again to the right, and we go forward or home. And then swipe up from the bottom to go into the app drawer. So swipe up again to go home, again to the app drawer. So it's really simple once you get used to it. If you don't like it, again, you can use the buttons that are there on the home screen. Now, there's a new feature for Google Wallet where you can quickly access it with the power button on the home screen. You just hold the power button. You'll actually have it here. I have not seen that show up yet, even though I have Google Pay set up. So if you have Google Pay set up, you may see that, you may not, and it's recognizing my voice there. Now, as far as notifications, they have changed a little bit. So if we pull down from the top, and let me turn on or turn off Do Not Disturb. So if we swipe down here, you'll see the notifications look a little bit different. If we tap and hold on them, we have alerting and silent, turn off notifications. They've just changed the way this looks completely. So you'll see show notifications related to you and your tweets. You've got all sorts of settings here if you want to tweak them. And again, they've actually separated these into alerting and silent. So if you have it set as silent and then you have the other set as alerting, it will show in different categories in the notification drawer. Now, as far as performance is concerned, performance is quite good. It doesn't really matter the device. It's going to be nice and fast. And they've actually added some AI enhanced performance, which allows you to use machine learning to predict which apps you'll use in the next few hours and which ones you likely won't be using. So your phone will only spend battery power on the apps you actually care about. So that's pretty interesting. We'll see how that works over time, but you shouldn't have to really manage the battery now. It should be nice and fast and keep everything moving quickly as well. Now, one thing you may have noticed is there is a dark theme on the phone on my right, the Pixel 3 XL. The search bar is dark, and that's actually a theming option. So let's go ahead and turn that on the Pixel 3a XL. So now if we go into the settings and we go to display, we have dark theme. So we'll turn that on and you'll see now there's a dark theme. Now, one thing that's not obvious here is there's accent colors, and you can actually change these as long as you have the developer mode turned on. So if you go down and you'll see under System and then Advanced, I have developer options turned on. If you have that turned on and you go into developer options and scroll way down, at the bottom, you'll actually see theming, and there's accent colors. So right now it's at default, but if I want it to be cinnamon, it takes a moment. It switches to cinnamon. You've got black, green, ocean, space, orchid, and purple. I tend to like ocean. So we'll go to ocean, and now everything's accented with that ocean color. Now there's a feature called live caption, and I actually haven't been able to get this to work yet. In fact, I've searched both the Pixel 3a XL and the 3XL, and the idea is it will read back or caption any video that you have and let you know what they're saying. Now, if we search for it, we'll go to Settings, and then we go to Live Caption. You'll see that it's here, but if I tap on it, it doesn't show anything. Now, we do have Live Transcribe and things like that. It doesn't work exactly like they show on the Android 10 website, so I'll check that out in a later video if you'd like to see that. Now, there are some really interesting new features such as Smart Replies. Now, Smart Replies has kind of been there before, but if I text myself with another phone and you see it pop up here, it can do more than just suggestions now. So let me show you that. Now, Smart Reply has gotten a lot smarter, and I've texted myself with a different phone, and you'll see here is my text that says, would you like to go to this Chipotle today? Here's the address, and it's got a little bit of a redesign, and it has sure what time, or what time, and it will just send that. So I can go back and forth, and if you agree, sometimes it can give you the directions and everything else. It's a really nice update and just a little touch. Now, along with those particular updates come 65 new emoji. And with this reply, you can see there's all sorts of emoji, but there's new ones that feature things such as haircut, weightlifting, sauna. So we'll see weightlifting. You'll see there's weightlifters. So it's just updated with 65 new ones to bring it up to the latest Unicode standards. So you should have things such as prosthetics in there. And you'll see there's some prosthetics, arms and legs. So we've got all of these little updates. It's just a nice little touch to bring it all up to date. Now there's an interesting new feature for headphones called Sound Amplifier. Now you do actually need headphones plugged into a headphone jack or your USB-C jack. And let's see if we can get this to work, because I do have some headphones I can plug into the Pixel 3a XL. Let's go ahead and plug in the headphones. And let's go to the last menu, and I've turned on Sound Amplifier. And this is a new feature that you'll see it says with headphones to improve how you hear sounds around you. So you do have to have wired headphones right now. And Sound Amplifier makes weak sounds louder without making powerful sounds too loud. So if we go home, we hit this little button here, and then we go to Settings. Now we can adjust Sound Amplifier. So we can boost the sound, fine-tune it, adjust our ears separately, adjust the noise from low, medium to high, and adjust the source if we had multiple devices plugged in. So you can see it's actually picking up some of my sound. If I boost it, the little green around the pause button gets louder. If I want to pause the sound, I can pause it. It's a really nice little option that they've added for accessibility. So along with reading the screen and things like that, they've added this as well. Really nice options. Now, many of us are more and more concerned about our privacy. And with Android 10, there are some big changes and updates to privacy. So if we go into our settings here, we scroll down to privacy. And under privacy, we can see everything at once. So we can see accessibility usage, permission manager, show passwords, lock screen, advanced, and there's all sorts of other information such as Google location history. You can see this in one place, adjust it, deny it, allow it, whatever you'd like to do. If we go into the permission manager, you can see everything from body sensors to microphone to SMS, and really fine-tune what you want to allow or not. So under accessibility, you'll see it says accessibility has apps that have full access to the device, 1Password, live transcribe, and then you can adjust the settings accordingly. So it's really nice. You've got all of this much finer control all in one spot. And on top of that, there's also security updates as well, and a new security section. So if we go under security, we've got the same thing. So find my device, security update, Google Play system update, and your device admin encryption and credentials. And all of this information is in one spot. Now, going along with privacy and security, we also have location, and location lets you know all of the different apps that have permission to your location. So app permission, we'll wait for it to load here. And maybe we'll go into Instagram, and we can allow it all the time or only while using, or deny the location. So we can fine tune this on all of our apps and know exactly what they're using as far as location services are concerned. Now there's a new feature under digital well-being called focus mode to really help you focus when you're trying to get some work done. So if focus mode is on, you can actually disable apps, and you can set those apps specifically. So if we go into focus mode, right now we have your distracting apps. I have it set as Twitter. We can select more apps. And during this, it will actually turn off any of these apps we don't want to bother us. So we can turn them all off, and under focus mode, they'll just go away. When you turn focus mode back on, then you'll receive notifications and everything else from them. So it really helps you focus on what you're doing. Now they've updated the share sheet, and it looks a little nicer. So if we go over to photos, and I share the wallpaper from today, and I'll link this in the description as I always do if you'd like to get your hands on it as well. But if we go into the share sheet, it's been updated with all of your favorites. Of course, I have those blurred out, but down at the bottom, you've got create link, shared album, save to drive, and you can just scroll through those and save those to everything from Bluetooth to anything else you want. Now, another update to accessibility is great for those with hearing aids. So if we go into accessibility, you also have the option for supported hearing aids now. So we go down here and you'll see there's hearing aids. So if you have a pair of hearing aids, you can actually pair this and stream media directly to it. So that should be helpful as well, especially with all of these different sound, amplifier, and well, all combined, it should really help you. So you'll see here's the caption preferences I was talking about. I can't get it to show up no matter what I do, but either way, it's there, and hopefully you'll be able to use it a little bit later. Now, as far as Android Auto is built into every version of Android 10. So if you have Android Auto on your car, you should have it here as well. You'll be able to use it. So that's there. And it's a little bit different. They updated that recently, but it's not part of Android 10. So it does look a little bit different. Now, going along with security updates, just like you have updates in the Play Store when you download an app and you can just update that without doing a whole system install, what they've done this time is Google Play system updates can now send security updates directly to your device without a full system install. So they've done that, and that's really nice. And then also with security, if there's urgent situations, ELS built into the phone can send enhanced location directions from your Android handset to emergency services. So if you dial your emergency number, you can actually get your location off your device to come help you if you're in that sort of situation. Now, there's a new feature to help you manage your family, and that's called Family Link. So it's an app that gets installed. You can uninstall it if you don't like it, and it helps you set digital ground rules for children and teens. So you'll see I don't have it set up, but you can set screen time limits day or night, and also allow or block apps. So you can get started, and then you can also locate your children's devices if they either lose them or you want to know where they are. Now, if you have friends that come over and they want to use your Wi-Fi network and you don't want to have to hand them the password, but you want them to be able to use it, you can actually go into your network details and share a QR code with them to allow them to actually gain access to your network. So that part's really nice. It's a very simple way to do that. Now, the camera has some new settings for developers for things like dynamic depth, and depending on which device you have, of course, you're going to have night sight and all of these great features on the Pixel, but you can have dynamic depth control and things like that. We'll probably see those more on the Pixel 4 when that's released. And then there's also improved provisioning for enterprise. And then also there's a notification if you get moisture or debris in your USB-C port. So it will let you know, and it will send it to your device or let you know about your accessories if there's moisture in there. There's also a new app uninstall screen. So maybe we want to uninstall Hue here. We'll just go to app info. And if we go to uninstall, you'll see, do you want to uninstall? Just everything looks a little bit more refined and a little bit different. Now, other than the gestures and dark mode and security and privacy, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot, but there's a lot of refinements and changes in the background. Everything from battery, you can see it looks a little bit different. They've updated this. You can show the battery percentage in the upper right if you'd like. It just shows you everything you want to know. And it's very nice to be able to see all of this information, battery usage. You can see lots of detail, and they've just updated all of this to look a little cleaner, function a little bit better, and it's nice and fast. So that's it for Android 10. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Of course, I'll link this wallpaper in the description as I always do. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you'd like to see more of these videos as soon as they're released. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.